Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump was a source of stability, and right now, nobody wants to acknowledge that. And it's an insult to my intelligence. It's an insult to my intelligence that they will try to have me look away from the stability that Donald Trump's leadership provided on the world stage with some boogeyman story that white man bad wants to kill me, the black man. And the two narratives and the two crises of both our country and the world are not unrelated. We're getting played. We're all getting played. One benefactor, two-party narrative, two-choice fork in the road, spit out from the propaganda machine, one benefactor. Divide, conquer. We all know the game. It's up to us to decide if we want to play or not, if we want to continue to play, if we want to continue to sit at the table, do we want to continue to roll the dice, or at some point do we throw the dice down and say, enough, we're done. We're done gambling with our safety. We're done gambling with our citizenship. We're done gambling with our sons and daughters. We're done gambling with our tax money. We're done gambling with the idea of peace. We're done gambling with our freedom. Donald J. Trump was a source of stability on the world stage, and they can't even bring themselves to utter the words Abraham Accords. You know why? They can't say it because it would legitimize his leadership. It would shine a positive light on his ability to broker peace. And you start to realize that the uniparty's disgust, the uniparty's rejection of Donald Trump isn't about white supremacy. It isn't about nationalism. It isn't about fascism. It isn't about racism. The uniparty, the purveyors of a corrupt status quo, and their rejection of Donald Trump is based on one single hallmark, a hallmark of his presidency, which was we didn't enter any new wars. He was one of the first true anti-war presidents in recent American history. And his desire not to be in a war and his desire to build the American economy reflected upon his relationships with leaders who they all say can't be controlled and contained all around the world. And that is the single greatest positive affirmation of Donald Trump's leadership that we all can point to objectively. Objectively, we didn't go to war when he was president. Objectively, the situation between Iran and the Saudis in the entire Middle East was much more stable. In many ways. Yeah, there were problems then too. I get it. But it wasn't the problem we're having right now today. Our relationship with Putin, our relationship with President Xi and the CCP, all under much more stable conditions. Who hated him? Who hated him? Who wanted him out? President Xi showed his respect. Vladimir Putin showed his respect. Kim Jong-un showed his respect. Yeah, he talked a good game. He talked slick. But, you know, when you're really from it, when you're really from that cloth where you understand how men operate who are powerful, who are type A leaders or businessmen or whatever the case may be, you understand a little bit of back and forth is not something to get bent out of shape about. So they had their back and forth. But ultimately, Kim Jong-un bent the knee because China knew that Donald Trump wasn't messing around. And it was his economic policy, which he could have been even more strong with against the CCP. But it was that economic policy that let them know he wasn't kidding around. And from that very moment, every single one of these corrupt DC swamp creature purveyors of the corrupt status quo, purveyors of a corrupt status quo went to work to undermine him and bring him down.